Have you ever walked into a quiet room and felt like the air was heavy, like something was missing, like the silence itself was screaming at you? That's not your mind playing tricks. That's the truth most men ignore. Because here's the shocker. When a woman goes silent, she's not saying nothing. She's saying everything. But only a stoic man knows how to hear it. You text her, "Hey." No answer. Hours pass. Still nothing. You check your phone. Again. And again. Your heart, it drops. Your thoughts, they start spinning. Did I say something wrong? Is she losing interest? Should I send another message? Number. That's the trap. Most men fall into the same hole. They chase. They panic. They send another text and another. They beg for attention, thinking, maybe if I try harder, she'll answer. But guess what? That never works. Never. Why? Because you just told her. You don't value yourself enough to wait. You told her. Your world spins around her response. And a man who needs her reply loses his strength. But a stoic man? He sits still. He breathes. He waits. He doesn't react to the silence. He reads it. Because silence. That's where the real game is played. That's where power moves in. And when you stay calm, when you choose stillness over desperation, you become rare, unforgettable. You say without words, I am not shaken. I am not chasing. I am not afraid. You see, a woman will notice. Oh wow, he's not texting again. He didn't double message. He's just living his life. And suddenly, she's not in control anymore. You are. Not because you played a game, but because you walked in truth. The truth that your time, your energy, your peace, it's valuable. Her silence, it's not the enemy. It's not the end. It's a test. It's a mirror. It's a doorway. And if you can stand in that silence, unbothered, unmoved, unbroken, she'll start to feel it. She'll start to miss it. She'll start to crave it. So next time she doesn't reply, don't run toward her. Sit with yourself. Feel the pull and stay still. Because silence doesn't hurt the man who has already found peace inside himself. Why silence doesn't mean you lost. It means you're gaining power. What if I told you her silence is not rejection? It's respect testing you quietly. She wants to see, will you collapse into fear or rise into power? Most guys hear silence and think, she doesn't care. But no. Sometimes silence is her way of asking, are you strong enough without me? Can you stay calm even when I disappear? Will you chase or will you lead yourself? Because here's the truth that shakes men at their core. If you fall apart when she pulls away, she learns that your confidence was never real. It was just a mask you wore when things were easy. But women don't want men who only stand tall on sunny days. They want the man who stands tall, even when the sky turns dark, even when it's stormy, even when she creates the storm. So let me give it to you straight. Your reaction to her silence is your resume. She's watching. Even if she's not talking, she's reading your energy, not your words. If you try to fix things too fast, if you keep messaging, if you post on social media to get her attention, you just told her, I am weak without your voice. I need you to tell me who I am. But you don't. You never did. Because a Stoic man doesn't need to speak to be seen. He doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. His silence is his power. When she vanishes and you don't react, that's when you become the mystery. That's when she starts feeling something deep, something new, something rare. She'll wonder, why isn't he reaching out? Is he over me? Did I lose him? And just like that, the silence she created to test you now tests her. So listen, don't fear her silence. Don't try to fill it with words or actions. Stand still. Breathe. Build your empire in the quiet, because that's where your true value grows. Not in noise, but in calm. The invisible trap that almost every man walks into, and she watches. She won't tell you you're doing it. She won't warn you. But she'll feel it. And the moment you step into this invisible trap, she pulls away silently. And you'll be left wondering, what did I do wrong? Here it is, man. The trap is simple. You make her the center of your world. Your days revolve around her. Your thoughts chase her. Your energy depends on what she says or doesn't say. It starts small. You check your phone more. You cancel your plans. You try to say the perfect things. You become available. Always. Too much. Too soon. And what happens when something becomes too available? It loses value. Even if you have great looks. Even if you're kind, smart, or strong. If she senses that her presence controls your mood, she doesn't feel safe. She feels too powerful, and a woman doesn't want that kind of power over a man. It makes her anxious, not attracted. You may think, but I just care about her. I want her to know I'm here. Yes, you care. But if caring means forgetting yourself, you're not loving. You're losing. And here's the hardest part to swallow. She knows. She senses when you're chasing her like a mission. When your energy says, I need your attention to feel okay. That is the invisible trap. And when you fall in, she stops chasing you. So what's the way out? You return to your path. You stop checking her mood to decide yours. You stop explaining yourself. You stop overthinking every silence. You go build. You go create. You go train. You lead your life again. And when she sees that shift, that fire in your eyes, that calm in your silence, that distance that says I'm good with or without you, she starts leaning in. Because that's what rare men do. They don't collapse under silence. They don't chase ghosts. They honor themselves first. She may not say it out loud, but when you stop chasing and start leading, that's when she starts watching you differently. How to shift your aura without saying a word. She feels it instantly. What if I told you, you don't need the perfect words? You don't need to text her a lot. And you don't need to prove anything at all. Because the moment your aura changes, she feels it without you saying a single word. Yes, she can feel you even before you walk in the room. She can sense if you're full of power or full of need. Let's break this down. Your aura is the energy you carry. It's not just about your face or your body or your clothes. It's about how you walk, how you breathe, and what you focus on. You see, most guys think attraction is about being loud, but the strongest men, they say less and mean more. That quiet, calm look in your eyes, that steady walk like nothing can shake you, that moment when you're focused on your mission, not begging for her replies, that is what changes everything. Because here's the truth no one tells you. She doesn't want a man who's always trying to make her feel something. She wants a man who already feels complete. When you walk in like you're already enough, you don't need attention. You don't need her texts. You don't need to be liked. You become the rare energy she craves, but can't quite explain. Now here's the best part. You don't have to fake this aura. You just need to return to yourself. Go do the things that make you proud. Spend time alone without fear. Do hard things that build your soul. Don't talk about them. Just become them. And suddenly, she sees it. She feels it. That shift in your presence, it's magnetic. So the next time you walk into a room, or stay silent when others beg for attention, or calmly walk away when she's unsure about you, that's when your aura speaks the loudest. Not from your mouth, but from your energy. Stop being too available. It's killing her desire for you. Have you ever felt like the more you text her, the more she pulls away? Like the more you show up, the less she seems to care? It feels unfair. It feels confusing. But what if I told you, being too available is the real reason she's slipping away? Let's get real for a second. You care about her. You want her to feel safe, seen, wanted. So you show up fast. You text back fast. You cancel plans just to talk to her. You try so hard, but it never works, does it? Instead, she starts acting distant. She takes longer to reply. She doesn't seem excited anymore. And that pain in your chest, that sinking feeling that says, what did I do wrong? It's not because you weren't enough. It's because you gave too much. Here's the harsh truth. When you're always there, when you make her the center of your world, you slowly become predictable. And once she can predict you, she doesn't chase. She doesn't wonder. She doesn't miss you. You become like a song that plays too often. It's not that it's a bad song. It just lost its magic. But now, listen closely. Here's how you take that power back. Start by being a little less reachable, not out of anger, not to play games, but because you've got things to do. You've got goals to hit, books to read, weights to lift, peace to protect. You are not a puppy chasing scraps of her attention. You are a lion who moves only when he decides. And when she feels that shift, when she sees you're no longer sitting by the phone, when your world no longer stops for her silence, her brain starts spinning. Why isn't he chasing? Where did he go? Who is he becoming? That's when attraction grows. Not through begging, but through space. The right woman will not be scared of your independence. She'll respect it. She'll rise to it. So stop being too available. You're not a vending machine. You're a man on a mission. Her silence isn't empty. It's loud. Here's what it's really saying. You check your phone again? Nothing. No message. No call. Not even a hey. And it hits you like a brick in the chest. She's silent. But what if I told you? Her silence isn't just nothing. It's actually a loud message. You just have to learn how to read it like a Stoic man. Most guys freak out when a woman goes quiet. They panic. They double text. They overthink. What did I do wrong? Is she mad? Should I chase? But here's the truth. Her silence is not your cue to chase. It's your invitation to stand still and observe. Because guess what? Sometimes silence is a test. Sometimes it's a game. And sometimes it's just her way of seeing what you will do. Now, a weak man, he jumps, he begs. He tries to fix things that aren't even broken. But a Stoic man, he breathes, he watches, he listens, not to noise but to the silence, because silence isn't nothing. It's information, it's a signal. It says, I'm not sure yet if I value your presence enough. And your job is not to prove your worth. It's to show that your worth doesn't depend on her reply. Silence teaches you something powerful. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. And that's where all your strength lives. This is where peace begins. This is where your aura grows. This is where you become unshakable. You stop over-explaining. You stop rushing in. And most of all, you stop letting someone else's lack of words define your day. Her silence may be about her mood, her doubts, or even her fear of falling for you. It doesn't matter, because when you're solid in yourself, you don't need an answer. You become the answer. So next time she goes quiet, don't react. Don't chase. Don't guess. Just keep living. Let the silence echo, and let her be the one who breaks it first. And the more you say nothing, the more she feels everything. What if I told you, sometimes the fastest way to make her miss you is to say absolutely nothing? Sounds strange, right? But here's the wild truth. When you stop giving her emotional attention, she starts starving for it. And when a woman is emotionally starving, she doesn't just think about you, she obsesses. Let me explain. Most men make a huge mistake. They overfeed her with feelings, texting all day, chasing her smile, always trying to make sure she's okay. They think love means doing more. But Stoic men, they know something deeper. Love is not proof by noise. It's revealed in space. Here's where it gets crazy. When you go quiet and stay calm, she starts to feel a weird, scary thing inside. Emptiness. And that emptiness isn't just sadness. It's confusion. It's curiosity. It's emotional hunger. Why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he asking if I'm okay? Why does it feel like he's gone? Boom. That's where the shift begins. Because when she doesn't know how you feel, she starts to wonder if she's losing your attention. And that is powerful. But listen closely. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about being cold. This is about understanding the one thing women never say out loud. They only chase the man who can live without them. Not out of hate, but out of mystery, out of strength, out of aura. When you stop overgiving, when you stop feeding her emotions like candy, she has to sit in the silence and ask herself, do I miss him? Was I taking him for granted? Is he slipping away from me? And when she starts feeling those questions, that's when the emotions hit harder than any love letter ever could. So remember this, King. You don't need to fill every gap with words. Let her feel the absence. Let her taste the stillness. Let her crave the emotions that only you know how to stir. The masculine mystery effect. Why she can't stop thinking about you. What if the part of you she wants the most is the part she doesn't fully understand? Wait, what? Yep, it's true. The more she knows, the less she chases. But the moment she senses mystery, her heart goes into overdrive. Because deep inside every woman is a question that haunts her. What's he really thinking? Let's break it down. When a man explains everything, shares every thought, spills every feeling, he becomes predictable. And predictable equals boring. That's just how the brain works. But you're not boring, you're a Stoic man. You know when to speak and when to let her wonder. Here's why that matters. When she doesn't know what you're feeling all the time, she starts to chase clarity. She wants answers. She starts imagining what you're doing, who you're with, what's on your mind. And guess what? That mystery, that's attraction fuel. Not because you're being fake, but because you're being real and selective. You're not cold. You're calm. You're not distant. You're disciplined. You don't give everything away because you don't need to. You know your value. You know your time is gold. You've got a life that excites you. And not everything needs to be shared to be felt. That's the secret. A man with mystery keeps a woman emotionally awake. He's not a puzzle. He's a story that never ends. And here's where it gets wild. When she talks to her friends about you, they say, "He's different. He's hard to read. I think I'm falling, and I don't even know why." That's your power. Not in chasing, not in begging, but in being deep, silent, and unreadable in the right moments. Nice. Absence that hits like a thunderstorm. The power move she never saw coming. Ever seen a calm sky turn dark in seconds? The wind picks up. The world goes quiet. And then, boom, the storm hits. That's what your absence should feel like. Let me explain. When a man disappears quietly, not with anger, not with games, but with purpose, it shakes her world. Why? Because women notice when energy shifts. They feel it, and your energy is strong. Your presence is loud, even in silence. So when it's gone, it echoes. You're not ghosting. You're growing. You're not ignoring. You're investing in you. Because sometimes she needs to feel the weight of your absence, to realize the value of your presence. But listen closely. This only works if your absence is real. If it's not a trick, not a move to get her attention, but a decision to choose your life, your mind, your peace, your mission. You stop checking your phone. You stop waiting on replies. You stop hoping she'll get it. And instead, you become the storm. You pour everything into your craft, your body, your future. Your aura grows louder, even when your voice goes quiet. And something strange starts to happen. She checks your stories. She asks your friends. She starts remembering the sound of your voice, the way you looked at her, the calm power in your presence. Why? Because the storm left a mark. Your absence wasn't emptiness. It was a message. And that message said, "I don't need you. I choose me. But I'm the kind of man you'll never forget." Now brace yourself, because on the final stage, we go even deeper into the final piece of this Stoic puzzle. The Unbreakable Man, how to become the one she can't replace, because no one comes close. Get ready. The ending is just the beginning. The Unbreakable Man. She can't replace what she can't control. Let's make one thing clear. She doesn't miss you because you begged. She doesn't crave you because you chased. She remembers you because you can't be broken. That is power, real power, Stoic power. Let's wrap this journey with one final truth. The kind of truth that punches you in the chest and wakes something up inside you. If a woman can replace you fast, she never really saw your value. If she can forget you overnight, she never truly felt your presence. If she walks away without a second thought, she never feared losing you. But when you become unbreakable, everything changes. You don't become unbreakable by acting tough. You don't do it by yelling, crying, or explaining your worth. You do it by walking away with silence, by holding your center when she tests you, by building a life so full, so rich, so magnetic, that even if she leaves, you don't fall. You rise. She'll scroll through her phone at midnight, wondering what you're doing, where you went, why you don't seem broken like she expected, why her silence didn't destroy you. And then the truth hits her. She couldn't control you. She couldn't shake your center. She couldn't make you lose yourself. Because you're not the guy who loses sleep over mixed signals. You're not the man who drowns in breadcrumbs. You are the storm she can't predict. The mountain that won't move. The soul that can't be bought, tamed, or bent. This isn't just attraction. This is respect. And respect lasts way longer than attention. So remember this. A stoic man does not chase. He attracts with stillness, strength, and silence. Not to play games, but because he's too focused, building an empire. To beg for a place in someone else's little world. You are the rare one. She doesn't need to understand you. She just needs to feel you. And when she does, she'll know. This man can't be replaced. Not today, not ever. And that is how you win without playing. The end? No, brother. This is your beginning.